You're now watching Q News, and here are the top stories for this hour. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has stated that Israel accepted a U.S. plan to extend the ceasefire in Gaza by 50 days, but said that Hamas has rejected the plan. Netanyahu added that Hamas's demands for a permanent ceasefire are unacceptable. Hamas has reaffirmed its commitment to the originally agreed-upon ceasefire, which was set to transition into a second phase involving negotiations for a permanent end to the conflict. However, it has firmly rejected the proposal for a temporary extension of the 42-day truce. Hamas has announced that it would not agree to extend the first phase of the ceasefire agreement in Gaza as requested by Israel. A senior Hamas leader, Mahmoud Mardawi, has stated that the release of remaining Israeli detainees would only occur under the terms of the already agreed-upon interim agreement. Egypt has strongly condemned the Israeli government's decision to halt humanitarian aid entry into Gaza and close key relief crossings. In an official statement, the Foreign Ministry denounced the move as a violation of the ceasefire agreement, international humanitarian law, and the Fourth Geneva Convention. Egypt emphasized that the use of starvation and blockade against civilians, especially during Ramadan, is both unjustifiable and inhumane. Cairo called on the international community to take immediate responsibility in ending these unlawful measures and to reject political agendas pursued at the expense of innocent lives. Jordan has condemned Israel's decision to suspend the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza and close the crossings used for this purpose. Jordan also called this move a blatant violation of the ceasefire agreement and the 1949 Fourth Geneva Convention on the protection of civilians during wartime. The Jordanian Foreign Ministry spokesman emphasized the need for Israel to stop using starvation as a weapon, especially during Ramadan, and urged the international community to enforce the ceasefire and ensure humanitarian aid access. Palestine has warned that the Israeli authorities are moving forward with plans to annex vast areas of the occupied West Bank under the so-called Greater Jerusalem Project. In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates denounced Israel's actions as a major crime aimed at annexation, forced displacement, and destruction in the West Bank, undermining a Palestinian state. It urged international intervention to halt the plan, warning of its devastating impact on peace efforts, and vowed to pursue the issue globally. The Syrian presidency has announced the formation of an expert committee tasked with drafting the constitutional declaration that will govern Syria's transitional phase. This decision follows the outcomes of the Syrian National Dialogue Conference and aims to establish the legal framework for the transition. The seven-member committee, including key figures such as Abdelhamid Al-Awak, Yasser Al-Haweish, and others, will present its proposal to interim President Ahmed al-Shara upon completion. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that he believed he could salvage his relations with the United States President Donald Trump following their explosive Oval Office meeting. However, he emphasized that further discussions would need to take place behind closed doors to address lingering tensions constructively. Zelensky, talking to reporters after a summit with European leaders in London, said that he did not think the U.S. would stop its assistance to Ukraine because, as leaders of the civilized world, they would not want to help Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, Zelensky added that he remained prepared for any challenges that may arise. Zelensky also stated that he remained ready to sign the proposed minerals deal with the United States and that he believed the U.S. would be ready as well. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said that he did not accept the United States under President Donald Trump was an unreliable ally, asking during a press conference whether the U.S. was now an unreliable ally. Starmer said that nobody wanted to see what happened last Friday. Starmer added that the U.S. has been a reliable ally to the U.K. for many decades and continues to be. Starmer also announced a new £1.6 billion deal, which would allow Ukraine to purchase 5,000 air defense missiles using export finance. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has stated that Europe urgently needs to rearm. She added that EU member states must be given the fiscal space to carry out a surge in defense spending. She told reporters after a long time of reliable, it is now of utmost importance to step up the defense investment for a prolonged period of time. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has stressed the need for unity within NATO and the West. Meloni warned against divisions as the alliance navigates the ongoing war in Ukraine. Meloni was in London with other European leaders to help secure peace in Ukraine and stability across the continent. Speaking after the talks, Meloni said that broad consensus on maintaining lasting peace, but cautioned that any fragile agreement could be at risk of violation.
Per cui bisogna essere molto attenti a quello che noi mettiamo, diciamo, sul tavolo in termini di
And this concludes our top stories for this hour. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates here on Qnews.